Hi Gemini, this is going to be your guys' timeless reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising. So let's get into it and just kind of see what the energies are for my Geminis. Do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so this is not going to resonate for every single Gemini out there. Feel free to check out other videos that has your placements if you know what they are. So we have the Strength card. We have the Four of Swords, the Three of Cups, Temperance, the Two of Swords, the Ten of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. So Gemini, what I'm picking up for you guys is there is something that you feel like is out of your control. There's something that you don't think you can handle. There's also a part of you that might feel a little anxious or restless, like you feel like you have to get up and move around. For some of you guys, you've been putting a lot of your time and effort into friends or distracting yourself with people or social media, something where you're interacting with other people. I feel like you might be trying to ask other people for advice on something because there is this part of you that is afraid to actually make a decision. And the problem too is you're not taking the time out to really feel what it is that you actually want. So with the Temperance card, Temperance is kind of an interesting card because it talks about having to actually take time to figure out what is the right amount of emotion and the right amount of logic that we have to put into a thought or into a decision. A lot of times we can get overclouded by judgment or our own thoughts, and we sometimes miss the mark and things if we're not paying close enough attention. And I feel like for some of you guys, it's something that you've been going back and forth with. There's a decision that you're having a very hard time making, and I feel for a lot of you guys, you're afraid that it's almost as though you're afraid to truly lean into the decision that you want to make out of fear of being harmed or out of fear of hurt. So it's almost like you're trying to avoid pain by almost going against your own instincts in a way because you're afraid that what you think you want or what you think you can obtain may actually in the long run cause further pain or cause issues. So it's kind of an interesting thing. It's like you're holding on to past hurts and past situations. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, when you're asking people their opinions about you making a certain decision, for some of you guys, every Gemini, this is going to be a different decision. For some of you, this is probably wanting where to move, if you should leave a job, if you should leave a partnership. So for everybody, it's a little bit different. But there's some kind of life-altering decision that I think some of you guys are in the process of making or deciding, or at least thinking about. Because I think some of you guys are kind of sick and tired of the way that your life is going currently, and you just don't know how to. It's almost like it's fear of the unknown. It's the fear of not knowing which direction to go in because you're afraid that if you make the decision yourself and it doesn't turn out the way you want, you have nobody to blame but yourself. But if you ask a bunch of people their opinion, it almost gives you the opportunity to get lost in that opinions. And if someone else makes the decision for you, it's almost like you can blame them or not take as full of accountability. Now, I'm not calling you out and saying that you guys cannot take accountability, but I think that's what is going on, is the subconscious belief that you cannot make that decision on your own due to fear of failure or fear of being responsible for your own life, because that's very scary. And there's nothing wrong with asking people for their opinion. There's nothing wrong with going to somebody and saying, hey, what is your thoughts about this? But when it comes down to your life and who you want to be and where you want to go, you have to think about it. Is the people that you're asking the opinion about, do you know do you want to live the life that they're living? Do you want to go down the path that they're down? Because if so, then by all means ask them for their opinion. But if you see their life and say, for instance, let's just put it like this. Say this is like a relationship and you're debating on leaving, or you're debating on getting into a relationship. Asking somebody that you know that's around you that is terrible with relationships is kind of a way of setting yourself up for failure. So right now, Gemini, you guys might be in this crossroads or in this decision making of, should I do this? Should I not do this? And because of that, you guys are leading yourselves down a path of like confusion due to asking other people or having other people involved in your own business. I feel like you guys have an idea that could actually potentially make you money or could actually give you guys a better life. But the problem that I'm seeing here is that, again, there is this fear of not wanting to cause yourself pain. It's like you're trying to really avoid anything that can come with it. Because the truth is, we don't know what the future holds for us. And when we make little changes and we alter our lives, there is going to be growing pain that comes with that. We cannot deny that life is not going to have its ups and downs, that life can be unpredictable at times. So I think that's your biggest fear right now, is the fear of not being able to handle what the decision that you're trying to make may come with. But I think that deep down inside, you actually know what is the right choice for you, because one is going to actually lead you down to a more prosperous, or at least a more abundant life for yourself. Because the people I feel like you're asking for advice, even though I think that they may have good intentions for you, Gemini, I feel like you're the one that needs to actually take the accountability and take the time to think for yourself and not necessarily ask other people, because I feel like that's muddling up your judgment making, because I think that you have been in this situation for a while where you've been judging yourself. You're not sure which direction to go in, and it's been something that's been weighing on you. And I think the reason why too is because it's time that you actually take a second out to really think about this, because I feel like fear is a huge motivational thing right now for you. You're kind of in this state of fear of, well, if I do this, is this going to end up badly for me? But if I don't do this, I'm going to be stuck in the same situation. And so it's like you guys are going back and forth between what you should and shouldn't do. And it's almost like you're projecting out to the future of what your fears are. So for instance, say if this is a business idea, you're projecting out there, well, if I take out this leap of faith and I do what I can do and I actually put the steps and the action towards making this happen, is this going to ultimately leave me penniless? Is this going to do this to me? Am I going to fail? You might even have people around you telling you stuff that could be doubting you as well, which is another reason why I feel like you guys need to be a little bit more reserved on this idea that you have, Gemini. Because the idea that you guys actually have, I do see it actually becoming something that I believe it does lead to something more prosperous. But because there's a lot of these doubts that you have about yourself, and maybe even the doubts of other people are going to, a lot of people, even though I'm not saying that people are bad, but the truth is a lot of the times people will dishearten you to not do the things you want because they think that they're protecting you. They think that because of this, they're coming at it from their limited perspective. So you have to think about it in these terms too. Sometimes people just have limited perspectives, and when you ask them, what do you think about this? It's not their path to lead. It's not where they're going anyway. So when you ask them these questions, questions, oftentimes they're going to give you the answer that's right for them, but not necessarily the answer that's right for you. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you know what is actually right for you. You just need to trust yourself and take the steps to lead yourself down that path. But you're holding on to so many things from the past and the fears that you have that's leading you down to questioning yourself and wondering if you have what it takes to actually get to where you want to go. And I'm telling you, Gemini, that you have everything that it takes. It's just having to have that trust in yourself. So it's kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty of where is your emotional belief about this situation. Because I feel like you guys have been taught at a young age that this is wrong, that this isn't okay, that you shouldn't go for this or that. So you guys might have been taught at a young age that that's unrealistic, right? So there's something in your life that you have some kind of limiting belief on, and you're asking other people, and they're giving you their limited beliefs as well. So it's kind of just keep that in mind for the decision that you're making, and definitely keep things to yourself for a while. And I'm not saying don't share with people, don't get close to people, but what I'm saying is when you first have an idea, and this isn't yet set in stone, Gemini, when you first have an idea, you have not figured out all of the nitty-gritty details of how you're going to get to that goal. Right? So when you go to a person, you say, hey, I have this idea, people are going to start poking holes in that idea. And it's not because they're bad, it's just because they're asking you the questions, and a lot of them are asking you right questions. But because you haven't set time aside for yourself to really think about it, to really write it down, you would have figured out all of those questions. But because you didn't give yourself that time and other people are doing that, it discourages you to continue down that path, if that makes sense. So really think about it before just jumping right in and telling people your business or what you think you want to do. So let's pull here the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards to close out. But I definitely feel like this is going to be a very abundant thing for you guys, but you have to have trust in yourself. So yeah, insecurities. A lot of you guys have a lot of insecurities about this idea or about a way that you can create in your life. We also need isolation. So some of you guys maybe need to isolate yourself at this time to really just get to know yourself, Gemini. Feel your own emotions, feel your own thoughts and feelings. When you ask other people, sometimes it's hard to tell what's your emotion from another and whose belief to yours. So it's better sometimes to isolate yourself. We need those isolation moments to sit down and really think about what we want to do and then move forward to proceed. So start taking the necessary action and steps and then tell people. So that way people cannot necessarily discourage you because you've thought about it all. You've decided about what you want to do. Because right now you're really needing to balance out what your beliefs are and what your thoughts are and what is your feelings towards this goal or towards this situation. And it's like, for a lot of you guys, your insecurities is being very highlighted because you're stepping oh my God, I can't talk. You're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that is very scary. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is really what is coming up for you. So just know that you have what it takes, Gemini, and work through that, because the truth is you have self-worth. You have everything you need. You just need to learn to balance out the negative with the positive, because I think some of you guys, you're focusing on the negative and you're worrying about making the wrong decision. But the truth is most of the time, Gemini, there's no such thing as right and wrong decisions when it comes to your own life, as long as you're not hurting anybody. Now, here's the thing. There's a difference between people being like, oh, you hurt me because you didn't listen to me. You know, people are going to react and respond the way they want. But I mean, if you're not physically or intentionally trying to hurt people, you have every right to do what you want to do, right? That's how I see it in life, because nobody else is going to live your life but you. So do not be afraid. If you make a choice or a wrong decision, you can always come back from that. You can always correct it. There's always ways to fix something. So don't tell yourself that you have only two options, because you might have more than two options. You might have more than what you even are realizing. So it's all about keeping your eyes open, keeping your options open, and maybe isolating yourself at the moment to really get to ground yourself, to really get to figure out what it is that you want, what are your goals, what are your desires. You know, you don't need other people breathing down your neck, telling you that you're wrong, telling you that this is not realistic. Because what is realistic? What is even reality? The truth is everyone has a different base of reality. So live your reality, Gemini, because your reality is the right reality for you. So keep going down the path you're going, work on yourself, better yourself, and focus on these little insecurities and help yourself work through them. Because the truth is our insecurities are just that. They're not really real. They're just baited in beliefs that we have about ourselves that we were taught at a young age. So there's nothing actually really wrong with you, but because these insecurities come up, it just shows you that there is something in your past that's anchoring you back into wanting to go back to that comfort zone. So your insecurities is it's almost like look at your insecurities as a way to grow and expand instead of contracting and pulling yourself back, right? So we have to look at insecurities as not necessarily a negative thing, but as a way to improve upon ourselves, as a way to allow ourselves to give ourselves the credit that we really need. Because the truth is everyone is insecure. Everybody is insecure. I don't care who you are. I don't care how successful you are or anything. Everyone is insecure in some area of life or just, again, within themselves. So learn to trust yourself and learn to say it's okay that you have those insecurities and still move forward even with insecurities, even with uncertainty. Because the truth is nothing is fully guaranteed in this life, but at the same time, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to embarrass yourself. It's okay to not have everything right. And it's okay to not know everything when going into something. But we need to take that time out for ourselves to really know what is right for us, instead of asking people and having people guide you down a path that actually could eventually lead you to misery or lead you to a place that you don't even want to be in. So take this time out. Isolate yourself for a little while, get to know who you are, balance yourself out, and then start taking the necessary actions. So write things down while you're in the process of thinking. Write it all down on paper so it is like physically there for you to see, and start taking those necessary steps and be calculative about how you want to go from here to here. Because the truth is you can do whatever it is that you want, Gemini. You have every capability that you need. It's just having to put that trust in yourself. It's just having to know that you have the ability to do that. So that's what I have for my beautiful Geminis. I hope that this helps you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great and wonderful day, Geminis. Thank you. Bye.